WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Cash Matlock. A second sinkhole has been identified near the Oktibbeha County Lake. This is in addition to the sinkhole found Friday afternoon. Oktibbeha County engineer Clyde Pritchard says there were no changes to the mudslide near those sinkholes. Now the area continues to be monitored. Oktibbeha County EMA Director Kristen Campanella says 6 additional pumps were installed Friday night to help draw water out of the lake. About 50,000 gallons of water are being pumped out of the lake per minute. Engineers say the lake needs to be lowered about 5 feet to get out of the danger zone. Water has gone down more than a foot since Friday. County EMA is coordinating with the Oktibbeha County Volunteer Fire Departments to assist with sandbagging efforts in order to create a diversion to alleviate the progression of this slide on the dam. Now, County Lake Road has been closed off until further notice. The Red Cross shelter remains open for residents of the affected area. It's located at the First Baptist Church Outreach Center in Starkville, and this is a pet-free shelter. Oktibbeha County Humane Society will board pets for any evacuees from the affected area. Now, engineers and county leaders also have their eye on the weather, and we've already gotten some rainfall in the area today. Trevor, what can we expect for the rest of today and for this weekend?
Yeah, Cash, you're exactly right. The good news is, as we mentioned last night, this was not an extremely heavy rain event. The rain has basically come to an end for everyone. Everybody picking up generally under 1/4 of an inch. Starkville coming in at just over 1/10 of an inch. The heaviest rain setting up down to the south of our area. So the good news is the rain has come to an end. We're not expecting any more overnight tonight, but we've still got some flood warnings in effect for a couple of river and creek locations just because it's going to take a while for the water levels to react now that the rain has come to an end. As I mentioned, overnight tonight, lows are getting colder down into the mid-30s. Staying mostly cloudy, but as I mentioned, we're going to remain dry, and I do think we'll start to clear out as we get closer to sunrise. And the good news is, one more bit of good news, for the next 4 days at least, no chance for rain. So we'll have some time to let things react and calm down. I'll have a look at your full forecast coming up in just a little bit. Cash.
All right, thanks, Trevor. Well, the Corinth Police Department is currently looking for a missing runaway juvenile from the Walnut area. Police say 17-year-old Demetrius Rabel was last seen in New Albany heading south on foot. He's believed to be heading to Florida. Rabel is 5'6" with brown hair and brown eyes. He has a very short shaved haircut. Rabel was last seen wearing orange basketball shorts and an orange sweater, tennis shoes, and a brown Carhartt coat with a hood. Police say he's been seen hanging around truck stops asking for rides. If you have any information on Demetrius Rabel, please contact the Corinth Police Department. Well, the Columbus School District Board of Trustees held its annual retreat today. The retreat was held this morning at Brandon Central Services Center. During the event, the board did evaluations, talked about matters of the school, and plans to move forward.
Today we're doing our duty as far as self-evaluation of the board, the superintendent evaluation, and the school board attorney evaluation, as well as talking about strategic plans and how we can improve the district going forward.
Well, this past year, the district did, in fact, receive a D rating. Well, the Winston County NAACP celebrated the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. today. Our DeAndrea Turner was there and is in the studio with more on the story.
And Dr. King died more than 5 decades ago, and for young people, it's hard to imagine that time in history. But by focusing on the younger citizen, the Winston County NAACP hopes to bring King's critical role in history to life. It's Martin Luther King. Young people were always a big part of the dream held by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
The youth is our tomorrow.
The Winston County NAACP made children the center of their program, honoring the civil rights leader. President Dean Miller says it's imperative that they know about their history.
And if we don't start with them now, you know, they won't know what to do. So we're trying to train them up.
Community members packed into the city courtroom to hear their young people give speeches and sing songs remembering Dr. King. Gloria Turnipseed always comes to the program. This year, she says she is looking forward to the children performing.
I'm so excited today to see the young little ones come in, you know, to be a part of this program.
Longtime state leader Charles Hampton says this program shines a light on history.
Right, we should never forget the work that Dr. King did, because he did the thing for all people, that we become together as one.
And this program is one way to show that unity and appreciation. And the Winston County NAACP has been actively celebrating Dr. King since 2005.
All right, thanks, DeAndrea. Well, in national news, President Trump has until 6 o'clock tonight to respond to a summons in his impeachment trial that begins next week. We also now know who will defend the president, and his team includes several controversial figures. Mr. Trump is spending the weekend at his Florida resort. Nicole Killian has the latest.
As President Trump arrived at West Palm Beach on his way to attend a high-dollar fundraiser at his Mar-a-Lago resort Friday night, the White House released a list of who will represent him at his upcoming Senate trial. Leading the team, White House counsel Pat Cipollone and Mr. Trump's private attorney, Jay Sekulow.
We're ready to get this behind us.
The roster includes half a dozen attorneys, including constitutional law professor Alan Dershowitz.
I've been asked to prepare and deliver the case, the constitutional case against impeachment that benefits the president.
And former special prosecutor Ken Starr, best known for the investigation that led to President Bill Clinton's impeachment. The former intern at the center of the case, Monica Lewinsky, tweeted, "Are you blank kidding me?"
I really think that Ken Starr is a disaster.
While the president had a different opinion of Starr back then, some White House aides are expressing concern now. Both Starr and Dershowitz once represented convicted pedophile Jeffrey Epstein. Dershowitz was also on O.J. Simpson's defense team and was accused of sexual assault, which he denies. But a White House advisor tells CBS News the president believes the pair will make for great TV ratings.
A lot of presidents, some good, some not so good. But you got a good one now, even though they're trying to impeach the son of a bitch.
The president lashed out at Democrats who released new evidence from former Giuliani associate Lev Parnas, including photos of Parnas and Trump and messages with congressional aides.
The president was self-impeaching almost every single day.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says the president's actions will be a stain on his record.
No matter what the Senate does,
Right.
It can never be erased. So I want him to know that he is impeached forever.
Well, back on the local front, today in Vernon, a local author was at that little store somewhere, which, yes, that's actually the name of the store. Leanne Sanders Shelton was there to share her story in person and on the written page. WCBI's Tyler Hull stopped by.
Everyone is familiar with a softball, the bright green leather and the red stitches. The red stitches are what holds the softball together, but they also held together the life of Leanne Sanders Shelton.
Without softball, I wouldn't be who I am today.
The title of her memoir is also Red Stitches.
It kind of tells my story from birth till now.
As a child, Shelton was involved in an accident. The result, she lost her arm, but that did not stop her. Shelton was determined to play softball and play well.
Playing softball, I've accomplished a lot in life. I've been inducted into the Dixie Softball Hall of Fame.
She has had a life full of achievement and accomplishments. But writing this book, Shelton says, was an emotional 10-month journey.
It was a lot of soul searching. I mean, it shed a lot of tears, a lot of sad tears and a lot of happy tears. So yeah, it was tough.
And in the end, a story worth telling. Tyler Hall, WCBI News.
You can get her book from Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or Books A Million. Coming up, a concert series returns to the Tupelo area, but it may not be the type of concert you're thinking of. More on that after the break. Welcome back, everyone. The North Mississippi Symphony Orchestra held its first concert of 2020 today. But as WCBI's Chad Groening reports, it was a concert of a different kind. Take a look.
The site was the Bancorp South Conference Center, and for the second straight year, the North Mississippi Symphony Orchestra put on a sensory-friendly concert for individuals on the autism spectrum and their families.
Just such an unusual experience to offer for the symphony, because we do a lot of play activities and things like that, but a lot of our children we work with really appreciate music, and this is an opportunity to grow that love of music in a safe place with the right supports.
And there were special accommodations in this concert.
Such as lights, you know, in a regular concert, they'll go, the house lights will go down and then they'll come back up. We keep the lights at the same level. We try to do away with any really big noise, with percussion that might frighten children. We also shorten the concert.
And there was another important accommodation.
All of those rules that apply to a regular symphony orchestra concert go out the window. We encourage people to move around if they need to. If they need to make sounds, they can. If they want to dance, they can get up and dance. Speaking as a mom of a special needs son, we know that it's difficult for a lot of children and adults that are on the spectrum or have other sensory needs. It might be difficult for them to sit through a regular orchestra concert.
This environment just provides them practice to be with crowds, because crowds are often overwhelming. Sometimes noise is overwhelming, even though they love it, especially when it's paired with crowds. So it gets them to practice so that when they get older, they can tolerate situations that are more naturalistic or more typical. And this is just a great opportunity for them to learn what a concert is all about.
Jack Martin is Lisa's son, who wasn't really excited about coming.
On my way here, my dad was trying to get us to learn about classical music, and we didn't want to, and we just wanted to enjoy the silence. So I just kept turning the music off, and he kept turning it on, and he was just trying to trying to teach us about all the classical music and its composers, and we just didn't want to, and we just wanted to enjoy the silence.
Fortunately, Jack had his headphones. Chad Groening, WCBI News, Tupelo.
Definitely looks like a good time there. There will be a regular performance on the symphony tonight at 7:30.
Now, we've been in the 60s for the last couple of days, but come Tuesday morning, it's going to be feeling like the teens and single digits. Get those coats ready. Got those details coming up right after this.
Your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with meteorologist Trevor Burchett.
A couple of areas of showers across the area today. Even some rumbles of thunder earlier this morning. You see some of the drops on the Tupelo camera up from the Alpha Insurance camera network on Main Street. Some wet roads down there as well, but as we got closer to sunset, we have started to dry out just a little bit. And as a matter of fact, most folks are dry as we get into the 6 o'clock hour. Here's a look at that radar. And you can see we've just got a few very, very light showers coming through West Alabama right now. We've also got some coming through Winston and Noxubee counties, but this is the last of it. Once this gets out of here, we're going to have a nice little dry spell. So enjoy your evening, not expecting much more in the way of rainfall, aside from maybe a sprinkle or two. Like I mentioned, that cold front, it's now kicked its way off to the east. That's going to allow much cooler air to start to filter in. We're down to 59 here in Columbus, 51 already in Memphis. Kansas City, Missouri is down, to 28 degrees already. And look what's going to happen. Through the evening tonight, that cold front's going to continue off to the south and east, putting us in the 30s by early tomorrow morning. It's been a while since we've seen temperatures this low, and they're going to go even further from there. So overnight tonight, 34, as I mentioned, here in Columbus, maybe a little cooler, 29 in Vernon, Corinth, and in Oxford. But generally, everybody's staying right around the freezing mark, if not just below. Tomorrow, another really chilly day. We're only going to top out in the 40s, but check that out. Lots of sunshine, lots of blue sky. It's going to be a little breezy, though. Gusts up to 25 miles an hour at times. That could make things feel like the upper 30s with that wind chill factored in as we get into the afternoon. Especially into Tuesday morning, though. Monday and Tuesday morning going to be very cold. Temperatures going to be in the teens in some spots by Tuesday morning. But once you factor in the wind chill, we're going to be feeling like 14 degrees here in Columbus, 11 in Corinth. Not out of the question for some folks to be feeling like the single digits by sunrise on Tuesday morning. So get those winter coats ready. I know they've probably been in the back of the closet for a while, but get them ready. You're going to need them over the next couple of days. Now, we are going to stay dry, unfortunately, for you snow lovers. No snow expected with these cold temperatures. We do have to talk about some more rain chances, though, once we get into the end of the week. That's going to be associated with another low pressure system and cold front in the plains by Thursday. I think much of Thursday is dry. We'll throw in about a 20% chance for some showers late in the day on Thursday, but in general, this is going to be a Friday event. Through the day on Friday, can't rule out some showers, maybe a rumble of thunder. A little bit too early to pin down exact details, but definitely prepare for some rainfall on Friday. Now, the good news is it's looking like that's going to get out here pretty quickly. Notice by Saturday, just a mix of sun and clouds with temperatures in the 50s. But as I mentioned, over the next couple of days, very cold, highs only in the 30s on Monday. Overnight lows in the 20s and teens in some spots by Tuesday morning.
Area teams meeting up on the hardwood in Ackerman this afternoon. Courtney has all the high school action when we come back.
WCBI Sports with Courtney Robb.
The phrase must win is one of the most overused cliches in sports. The thing about cliches, normally they're overused because there's a hint of truth in them. So when is the most appropriate time to use the term must win? How about when you start off conference play 0-3? Mississippi State struggling to find early success in the SEC. The Bulldogs finally picking up the team's first conference win, 72-45 Tuesday night against Missouri. Now State staring a 1-3 losing SEC record right in the face, which makes you wonder, what does that do to how the Bulldogs are approaching upcoming games? Here's what MSU head coach Ben Howland had to say.
Every game you have to have that feeling that, you're putting all your energy, all the preparation, failing preparing to fail. I mean, you got to be very, very intense and focused because everybody's so good, and you can see it. Everybody's knocking out people. I mean, it's a league with a lot of parity.
Struggling is becoming an understatement for Ole Miss men's basketball. The new year for the Rebels has started out with 4 losses, 0 SEC wins, and the team's leading senior guard Breein Tyree benched with an injury. Ole Miss now returns home to host LSU tonight, and winning against the reigning SEC champs is even more crucial. It's not just about finding success in the SEC. It's about the Rebels running the risk of falling below 500 on the season. Ole Miss head coach Kermit Davis saying plenty of factors playing a role in the team's lack of success.
I mean, we got one senior in our team, Breein, that's it. I don't know how many teams in college basketball, I guess some Power Fives do, and so that's not a lot of experience. And we've got 4 guys who played at Ole Miss on our team right now from last year. And, so that's no excuse making at all. I mean, we're disappointed that, we're where we're at. But, it is growth, and we just got to stay upbeat and keep trying to get these guys better. And we're going to do it every single day. And, eventually we're going to get to where we want to get to.
How about we stop talking about basketball and we get to some actual action? The 13th annual Mid-Mississippi Challenge, Louisville taking on New Site first quarter. Ariana Hunter finding the basket for the lay-in. The Wildcats go up 2-0 early. Royals respond. Ivy Loden with the baseline drive, puts up the shot, is fouled. The and one bucket, and the Cats trail by 1. Louisville on the break. Ingram throwing it back on the wing to Adria Tompkins for the 3-ball. Power Cats take a 2-point lead. And New Site with the ball. Sadie Taylor swinging it to Hannah Campbell. Pulls up with no hesitation. Knocks it down. The Royals take a 3-point lead. New Site going on to edge out Louisville in this matchup. The final score 62, Louisville 60. And some more girls action. East Webster taking on McAdams. Fourth quarter, Lady Wolverines up big. Whitney Winter passes into the paint to Shunshia Culpepper for the hook shot. And East Webster goes up 22. Webster on the break. Winter finds her way to the rack and makes the easy 2 bucket. The Lady Wolverines up 50-26. And McAdams looking to make a run. Kiara Brown hits Haley Purty down low for the 1 opportunity. East Webster ahead 52-40. And Lady Wolverines on the break after a Bulldog miss. Lauren Graves goes coast to coast, gets the lay-in. East Webster getting the win in this one, 59-44, your final. And the East Webster boys also in action, taking on Winona. First quarter, Tigers with the ball. Caleb Rush on the drive, kicks it out to Clifford Lee for three, knocks it down. The Tigers up one early in the matchup. Wolverines with the ball. Cedric Taylor catches the pass down low, makes the shot, plus the harm. East Webster regains the lead. The Tigers with the ball again. Joanne Small swings the rock to an open Rush, who knocks down another triple shot. The Tigers tying the game back up, but the Wolverines with the ball back. Blake Slay hits Reed Gatlin, who fakes the defender out of his shoes, knocks down the J. Wolverines leading by 5, and the Tigers answer. Lee drives left, pro hops in the lane, hits the shot off the glass. The Tigers trailing by just 3 points. Winona going on to win this one. The final score, Winona getting the win 52 against East Webster 45. That's it for sports. We'll have more for you after the break. Stay with us.
Temperatures are very cold. Highs only in the 30s for Monday. Overnight lows in the upper teens and 20s. So we're dry for the next few days. Next best chance for rain is on Friday. We've got some rain and storms then, highs in the low 60s.
A lot of people looking forward to that sunshine, especially in Oktibbeha County.
I would much rather it be snowfall, but can't get everything.
No, get out of here with that.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you back here tomorrow.